The Indian National Movement 1917 to 1929, Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Movement. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, popularly known as Mahatma Gandhi or Gandhiji, was one of the most influential leaders in the history of India and the world. He is widely regarded as the father of the nation in India. Mahatma Gandhi was born on 2 October 1869 in Porbandar, Gujarat. At the age of 18, he went to London to study law at University College London, where he trained as a barrister. Gandhiji went to South Africa in 1893 to work as a lawyer, where he encountered the pervasive racism faced by the Indian community. Even he was also thrown out of the first-class compartment for being an Indian at Pietermaritzburg railway station. This experience marked a turning point in his life. In South Africa, Gandhi developed his philosophy of satyagrah, meaning truth force or soul force, a form of non-violent resistance against injustice. He led successful campaigns for the rights of Indians living in South Africa, culminating in the defeat of discriminatory laws in 1914. Gandhiji returned to India. After his return to India in 1915, Gandhiji joined the Indian National Congress and participated in the national movement. He successfully organized satyagrahs in following places. Champaran. In 1917, Gandhiji travelled to Champaran in Bihar to fight against the oppression of the indigo planters in favour of poor farmers who were forced to grow only indigo. Ahmedabad. In 1918, Gandhiji went to Ahmedabad to organize a satyagrah movement among cotton mill workers who demanded an increase in their payments. Kheda. Gandhiji then in 1918 organized satyagrah to support the peasants of the Kheda district of Gujarat. Affected by crop failure and a plague epidemic, the peasants of Kheda could not pay the revenue and demanded that revenue collection be relaxed. These local movements were a great success. Gandhiji then became a leading figure of the freedom movement. Key movements led by Mahatma Gandhi. Non-cooperation movement 1920 to 1922. Gandhiji called for Indians to boycott British goods, institutions and titles. The movement aimed to build self-reliance, Swadeshi, and challenge British authority. It included boycotts of schools, law courts and British-made goods, and promoted the use of khadi, hand-spun cloth. The movement was called off after the Chauri Chaura incident in 1922, where violence erupted between protesters and police. The incident led to the death of 3 civilians and 22 policemen. Salt March 1930. On 12 March 1930, Gandhiji led to about 386 kilometers march to the coastal town of Dandi in Gujarat to make salt, in defiance of British laws that imposed a tax on salt production and sales. This salt march is also known as the Dandi March. On 6 April 1930, he reached Dandi and ceremonially violated the salt law by manufacturing salt from seawater. This act of civil disobedience galvanized millions of Indians and became a symbol of resistance to British colonial rule. Civil Disobedience Movement 1930 to 1934. Following the Salt March, Gandhiji called for the civil disobedience of all British laws, demanding full independence. The movement spread across India and millions participated in non-violent protests and acts of civil disobedience. Gandhi was arrested several times, but the movement brought international attention to India's plight under British rule. Lakhs of men and women took part in the movement. Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, also known as Frontier Gandhi, launched a movement similar to the civil disobedience movement in Peshawar. Sarojini Naidu had also led the Satyagrah's civil disobedience movement. For over a year, the movement continued, but by 1934, it had lost its momentum. Quit India Movement 1942. In 1942, during World War II, Gandhiji launched the Quit India Movement, calling for an immediate end to British rule in India. The British arrested Gandhiji and other leaders, but the movement sparked widespread protests across the country. Despite the suppression of the movement, it significantly weakened British resolve to maintain colonial control over India. At the end of the Second World War, the British gave clear indications that power would be transferred to Indian hands. At this point, Gandhiji called off the Quit India movement and around 1 lakh political prisoners were released, including the Congress's leadership. Partition and independence. Gandhiji opposed the partition of the India along religious lines. He also suggested an agreement which required the Congress and the Muslim League to cooperate and attain independence under a provisional government. Thereafter, the question of partition could be resolved by plebiscite in the districts with a Muslim majority. Muhammad Ali Jinnah rejected Gandhiji's proposal and called for Direct Action Day on 16 August 1946. The Direct Action Day triggered a mass murder. Thousands of Hindus and Muslims were murdered and tens of thousands were injured. Gandhiji visited the most riot-prone areas to appeal a stop to the massacres. Meanwhile, there was a call for the partitioning of the country on account of the riots. On 18 July 1947, the Indian Independence Act was given the royal agreement that India, consisting of today's India, and Pakistan, consisting of today's Bangladesh and Pakistan, would become two separate nations. At the midnight of 14 and 15 August 1947, Pakistan and India became independent, respectively. Gandhiji spent the Day of Independence not celebrating the end of the British rule, but appealing for peace among his countrymen by fasting and spinning in Calcutta on 15 August 1947. Assassination. On 30 January 1948, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu nationalist who opposed Gandhiji's efforts to foster peace between Hindus and Muslims. Mahatma Gandhi's life and work remain a beacon for advocates of peace, social justice, and non-violent resistance across the world. His unwavering commitment to truth, justice, and equality changed the course of history and continues to inspire global movements for human rights and freedoms.